Hey everyone, you're listening to 90.3 FM, WAIH, the way at SUNY Potsdam. You can reach us at our request line, 315-267-2511. Our Facebook is facebook.com/90.3 WAIH, and our Twitter and Instagram handles are 90POINT3 WAIH. Just a heads up, this is an interview, so we will be talking, so keep in mind nothing we say is reflective of the radio station or SUNY Potsdam as a whole. This is your host, DJ Right Shoe, and I am accompanied by my dear co-host,
DJ Deja Vu. What's up, guys? How you doing?
Oh yeah, Jay-Z, as we like to call. Well, I think I'm the only one to call him. Today we are doing another MadFest interview. This is MadFest interview number 3, and we are accompanied by the wonderful Cooper Francis. Is there anything you'd like?
What's up, guys? Hey, good to see you. Anyone tuning in?
Cool.
Greetings.
I wish we had one of those boards where you could press the applause button.
Yes,
that would be cool.
I think we used to have those programs somewhere. We could do that'd be fun.
But welcome, Cooper. How you doing, man?
I'm chilling, man. I'm big chilling. I'm just hanging out here on this Sunday morning. What time is it? Like
it's mid-afternoon, but it feels like it's gloomy.
I'm gonna call it a morning. I think that's what I'm working.
Most of us woke up about 2 hours ago, so it's kind of like
I fall into that category. I'm not gonna hold you. I fall into that category, my guy.
Yeah. I woke up this morning and was like, yep, it's interview day. And then I was just exhausted. I honestly was sleeping until you called me. So thank you for, because I had my alarm on, but my body is just like, I'll just sleep through it.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, cool. But we're very excited for this. MadFest. Do you have any feelings about MadFest itself? Do you think it's gonna be different from other concerts you've done?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think just the density of how many acts is really exciting to me, because we were doing a photo shoot for it the other day, and I was like, the concentration of how many dope people are going to be in this space in such a short period of time, just it blows my mind. I think Potsdam has a really, really dope.
They said 14 acts we came out with in total.
Oh, yeah, 14
or 15. That's an insane bill.
A good amount of people.
Yeah, it's gonna be wild. I think I'm really excited for that show for sure. Yeah.
Do you have any out of curiosity, because I know that you're a freshman, I believe, right?
Yes, yeah, I am.
So you are new, but you have been here for about a year now. Do you have any initial thoughts / developed thoughts of the local music scene? Are you stoked to be a part of it? Do you think it's moving in a dope direction?
Yeah. I mean, as I think the thing about the music scene in Potsdam is, I mean, I came here as a cranny. I came here as a classically trained guy, and then I was oh my god, we have all these. Can I swear?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay,
you can say.
I apologize.
We have all these dang cool people here.
There you go.
And it was kind of the second thing I discovered about Potsdam, that we have all these super dope people that are writing their own stuff and going down that avenue. And I was really excited about that, because that's also something I was really passionate about in high school. So I'm not gonna hold you. I was a little surprised at how vibrant the scene was here, because of the North Country.
Absolutely.
But I think I'm really lucky to go to school where there are so many dope people to collaborate with. I think it's really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely used to be. It used to be more of a band house party vibe for sure, until recently, I think.
Well, the 2 years that I've been here, I was a transfer student. The 2 years that I've been here, I've seen a gigantic switch in music, in local music, from a matter of just having the 2 local bands that to having the 14 bands that you can include on a bill.
Yeah.
It's erupted. It's been absolutely it's been really cool to see, just to be from the background and see.
As someone who's has been there for the transformation, what do you think is do you think there was something that brought that on, or is it just luck?
Ooh, that's a good. Well, I mean, I feel like Potsdam being here, having Crane has brought the talent here.
Yeah.
I will accredit Potsdam for that, but I do accredit our local scene, the scene that the music clubs really set up, and welcome these different acts, welcome these different types of genres of music, welcome these really avant-garde types of music.
Yeah.
I mean, I can think of 2 people off the top of my head that you can hear at a local bar. You would never be able to hear them outside of a school campus.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool.
Yeah, there were a lot of people. I mean, I'm from Syracuse. I'm from Syracuse, New York, and I went to high school there. Obviously, there were a lot of people that were doing cool stuff, but it's when I got here, it was just people were being so like expressive, and people
Right.
were like so.
It's very
genuine,
welcomed.
and it's very like I was so surprised at how genuinely creative and like different a lot of these sounds were. And I was like, this is like, if this is like the culture, if this is the scene that I'm hanging with for the next at least 4 years, I'm here for it.
Looks
man.
like it. Yeah.
Hopefully growing. It's definitely grown a lot.
It's definitely grown a lot.
I think it's because I think we're also getting more centric on people focusing less on making noise, and not that people just made noise in the past, but it's becoming more centric on like we're seeing a lot of individuals forming their own bands
as opposed to people copying and pasting.
Yeah.
And taking somebody else's technique, or we see that a lot in mainstream music. So
like, people are growing and like creating their own thing.
Right.
Like,
Exactly.
Yeah, man. That's something that's weird. It's something I think about a lot, and I thought about a lot, and I still do think about a lot. It's like when I was younger, I was like, oh, I gotta sound like this person if I want to be good, or like I have to write songs like this person, or I have to play guitar like this dude. But now it's like I'm kind of obsessed with sounding like myself, and I'm kind of obsessed with like figuring out what that is, because it's frankly so much. Like it's such a project to like figure out what your creative voice is. But I have such a I'm so lucky that I have so many friends like musically and artistically otherwise to like help me figure that out. And I think that's a super
snaps for the friends. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. Oh, snaps for the friends all the way.
Snaps all around.
Yeah, man.
Well, it's good to hear. Like I feel like there's so many people who just don't really know. They just kind of are picking up stuff and doing it. I think that kind of reminds me of, I don't know if Jason, if you were here for Ned or if Marissa was here for that, but Ned was explaining how his biggest fear is sounding like somebody else, and how he actually has a song on his EP that his dad like made a joke like, oh, this sounds like this song. And he was like, nah. And like now he's like, oh, I hate this song now. Like even though like it's such a great song, he's like, it sounds like this band. I just can't.
Well, now I hate it.
Now, well, Dad, thanks. That's
like,
EP.
But I think it's great that we have like such an influx of people who are trying to focus more on, being new, because I mean, it's 2019. It's hard to make something completely original.
And
don't
get it twisted with like taking influence from somebody.
Oh, yeah,
you can definitely feel free to get your influence from somebody and have your sound kind of like that guy, or it's kind of like that artist, I should say. So you don't really get it. Don't get what we're saying twisted.
For sure. I was watching this. I don't know. John Mayer was like talking into some microphone somewhere, and he was talking about how like people are learning gravity on guitar, and they're like they're stealing from me, but they're not stealing in the most effective way. They're not learning the guitar. They're learning gravity. Right? And like he was talking about how the best way to really find your own creative voice is to like hear the thing you like and figure out what it is about that thing. Take like the core of it, and then use that as a tool to develop your creative voice, as opposed to just taking the whole thing, because that's not you.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it's a good way to look at it.
That just happened to be duct taped to the thing you like.
It's a good way to look at it. Yeah, John Mayer's kind of a babe.
Only kind of.
Agreed.
I mean,
his improvising skills on the guitar make me weep.
I wish.
Oh yeah, I can't even begin to
wrap
my head around that, man.
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it, because there are so many I mean, this music scene, as great as it is that it's so easy to kind of do it yourself these days, there are a lot of people that honestly only care about fame, and they only care about getting numbers, and they make they might make a sound that's poppy sounding, that might sound like a song you've heard, just because they know it'll get hits, and it's sad, because it's like that person probably has a lot of hidden talent that they just don't realize that they could be like making weird creative stuff. And maybe it'll be weird like Alt J, where like it'll be like a selective audience, but it'll still be there'll still be an audience for it regardless of what you do.
Oh yeah, for sure. Something someone told me, it was my 10th grade English teacher, actually. Or I don't know if it was actually his words or if it was a quote, but I remember hearing it in that class. He said, always make art like you are the only person you're trying to satisfy with it. Like, because if you pretend you're the only audience
very
member,
interesting.
That's gonna be the truest,
Oh yeah,
form of expression, you know.
I like that.
it's something that you as a person can appreciate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not something that you necessarily need appreciation from everybody else. It would be nice,
Yeah.
of course, but
Oh yeah.
true expression really brings out a lot in a person.
Yeah, man. I think, yeah, just sounding like other people is something I try, like Ned, I try not to do for sure. I think there were expectations of certain people that I think held me back from really doing what I wanted to do until, you know, relatively recently. But now I think my creative process from like me being like, standing behind you, oh, that's pretty good, to it being a finished song.
Right.
That whole process, I think it's a lot more involved with me than it was in the past, I think. I mean, that's just my personal process, but yeah, that's just something that's kind of different from me than it was when I started this whole gig.
Interesting. Very cool.
I'm sorry if you said this already,
No, you're good.
but just a quick question. So how long ago did you start? Like, how old were you? Like,
I was so when I released my first music when I was in was it 10? Yeah, it was like March of like 10th grade actually with my first band. The first stuff I released under Cooper Francis, it was on Valentine's Day of my senior year in high school. I released my first single. So yeah, a couple months ago it had a birthday, and I was like, that's weird. That's weird that it's like it's a year old now. And it was a year old before it was a year old, because like it was a long time coming.
Right.
So like how old is it? Sometimes I go into
now.
like the sometimes I don't know if you guys do this. Sometimes I go into my voice memos in my phone and I just listen to like the ideas that I write down and like the stuff I record. I'm like, when was this born? When was like when was I like, yo, this is a thing, man.
Yeah.
When was I like, this has potential, like at first? And I think that's kind of interesting because I think for a song to really be complete, at least in my head, is it needs to live in different parts of my head for it to really be well rounded. It's like that episode of Teen Titans where like Raven's personalities are split into like 7. Like the song needs to do that before it can like it's
makes
like
sense.
it's like
Absolutely.
the trip inside.
Yeah, sure.
You know?
Self-inspiration.
Yeah. Because I feel like having an emotional connection to my music is something that I don't know. That's something I think a lot about, and I don't just like having a track is cool. And for people who just approach it like that, like more power to you. But just for like my preference is like I even like the track I sent you earlier. Like I was listening to that and I didn't know it at the time, but I was listening to it. I was like, oh, that's what I meant by that. Oh, that's what I was talking about. And I don't know. I think Paul McCartney like said that initially, but it's like I write something and I don't understand what it means until like way later.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, sometimes I kind of formulate the meanings after the words, and I'm like, oh, I guess that's kind of, it's kind of what I was feeling.
When
at
you
that
say
point.
something, then you're like, wait, let me think. Yeah, no, I know what I mean. Give me a second.
It's like coming back to it.
Yeah,
it's like you have the ability to come back to an argument and make like a cool, like, yeah, that's right.
Yes, yeah, precisely. Yeah, and that is the superpower of any type of artist. They get to have that shower moment in the argument moment. That's what they get to do, and that is the coolest thing about making art. I think getting that little shower time machine.
There you go.
That's all art is.
Yeah, like you can, I'm really into like the types of artists that aren't afraid to either make like a part 2 of a track from like that they had originally done, but they just liked it so much they wanted to do something different, or maybe they were ashamed of it, so they'll really release it for an album. Like, I like the idea of being able to go back and revisit.
Yeah, I have not had a song where I haven't had multiple versions and wondered which one to release. I've never not had that happen.
Yeah.
I've literally never
It's
had
like
that
there's
not happen.
so many different things you can do.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Also, there's different like, I guess different directions you can take it. Like, Trying to think of an example. I'm a little tired right now, but I'm trying to think of like an
You and
example.
me both,
Like
man.
even
We all are.
like a lot of rappers like B.O.B. for example. Maybe not the best example, but he has Airplanes Part 1 and Part 2. There you go. But it's basically the same. It's just a little different. Not really a little different, but
yeah, man. It's
different people.
It's like what I think about a lot. It's like how is like like how do I express this? What is the threshold of like releasing something? Like where is the line where I'm like, okay, I can show people this now?
Yeah.
That's something I ask myself a lot, and I haven't quite figured that out. I'm like, when is enough enough?
Do you mind
Yeah.
if I ask you a follow-up question?
I don't mind.
In that process, is there, I guess it's more of a personal question. If you don't want to answer it, please, by all means, don't. Is there somebody or some process that you go through first to have like kind of like a proofreading, proofreader,
Okay.
if you
I
know what
dig
I
it.
mean?
Yeah.
Before releasing it to everybody else, is there somebody
Yeah.
that you or something that you can put your faith in to steer you in the right direction?
Yeah, I have a couple people actually, and I think running the gambit with like different types of people is kind of important. I mean, I have my producer and I have my other musician friends
Mhm.
who are familiar with the craft, but I think just as much having someone who isn't really in that game, someone who's just
Right.
going to listen to it
Mm.
for what it is in the same way they listen to
A regular song on
to,
the
you
radio
know,
or something
yeah,
like that.
exactly. So I think
Right.
having that spectrum is important. Maybe people in the middle, maybe not. But I think having people that can really get down and dirty, like maybe you should EQ the kick in a different way, or people like, I think this is a cool track. I like the lyrics, and I think they're equally important.
Oh,
I think
cool.
they're equally
Very
important.
cool. Awesome.
EQ is equally important.
EQ is equally important.
Oh, puns.
I dig it.
That was really punny.
I dig it.
Yeah.
I know nothing about EQ actually. It's
Yeah,
kind of
same.
sad.
And engineering is not my
Yeah.
specialty either.
You and me both, man.
You
I am
kinda just
very
gotta let those guys
interested in
take
Oh,
care.
very much so.
But it's like it's just so much.
As long as you kind of get your creative idea out there, I'm like, just make it sound, give it some
Listenable.
reverb, Just
Just
give a little
A
splash.
little reverb into like give it a little, just put a little sauce on it, man.
Little something on it, yeah.
Pizzazz.
Little sauce, like we were talking earlier with the pasta.
Oh yeah, saucy pasta.
So yeah, but not too much sauce,
Yes,
because if there's too much, it's like
it's just like it's like soup, but it's not soup.
it's weird. I like to make food music analogies. I think more than the average person. I think there's a lot to be.
What is the spaghetti to pasta your favorite analogy? Your favorite music analogy?
I think there can be a lot of parallels between pasta and music. I think there are a lot of elements that. Oh God, where am I going with
True.
this?
I mean, that's true. You got all different kinds of noodles, and then you have all different kinds of sauces. Sometimes you don't need sauce. That's like a simplified music. It's like Yeezus.
The noodle-
That's
strips.
simplified,
The
definitely.
noodle is the rhythm section.
There you go.
Okay,
Oof.
and the sauce is the tenor saxophone solo in the bridge. You
It's
know,
like-
Wow.
that's the
You need
sauce.
that.
That's the
Metaphors
sauce.
here at
Maybe a little
90.3 FM.
Fresh basil.
And what's
on
that Justin
guy.
Timberlake track? Timberlake. What is it? It's like you can have the juice. You can get a new car or whatever, and you'll have the juice. But sauce is forever. You got to get the sauce.
That's
man.
true. That's
Yeah.
true. Sauce will never. Actually, it's a lie. It could let you down, but
Sauce could let you down. That's the other thing. You got to be
Oof.
careful because there's good sauce and bad sauce.
Yeah.
But sometimes you want some bad sauce.
sometimes you gotta taste the bad sauce to know what not to do with sauce.
It's true, and any good chef will know good sauce and bad sauce.
So there you go.
I don't think that's how that sentence was supposed to end, but that's
But-
how it did. So we're rolling with it, baby. All
There
right,
you go.
let's go.
There you go. So, do you have any other shows coming up besides MadFest? Out of curiosity.
I have a show at Hurley's on what month is it? On May 11th, I believe. And that, yeah, I had to check.
It's a great way to ease into finals week.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, rehearsals for that'll be super fun. No, they actually will be. No, they will be fun.
It'll be a great way to wind down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lay
I
out
think right
your
before all
Emotions.
the craziness happens, that fun time of year.
It's just the thing about the spring semester is it's the same workload of fall semester, but it's just compressed into shorter.
Uh-huh.
So it's
Yeah.
just so much insanity.
And it feels longer. I don't know
That's
why.
the thing.
Yeah.
It's
It
like
just does.
I feel like I'm crawling along at
Uh-huh.
this point. We have
Yeah.
like what, like 30 days of class or something like
Nah,
that.
I don't even think so. Not
Probably
even.
less than that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's painful.
It's
Um,
painful to think about. I think of
Yeah.
all the assignments I still haven't handed in.
Yeah, same.
It's wild. It's weird to think that I'm almost done with my freshman year in college.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a strange
You're like a
thing.
quarter of the way there.
Yeah,
Whoa,
yeah, man. That's
we're
weird.
a quarter of the way
That's-
there.
Once you start getting
Whoa.
into fractions and like percentages, you're like, oh, stop, slow down.
Yeah, man.
Stop.
That's why I'm a music student. Can't be messing with those.
There you go.
Hmm.
Can't be messing with those, man.
Yeah, I know the music students struggle. Are you music business or performance?
I'm currently in limbo. I'm currently
Musical limbo.
that's me. That's just my entire that's the Cooper Francis slogan. No, but right now I'm switching to business, but right now I'm
Nice.
technically music education.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I
interesting.
was at 2 my freshman year and I switched.
A lot of people
Switched.
a lot of people switched.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say. No, absolutely no shade.
Nah, I completely.
Some
feel
of my
that.
closest friends are at people, and they're like super
Yeah.
dope people, and you can tell they just know their stuff.
Yeah, like they're passionate about it. Like I
Yeah, man.
don't know. I kind of was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I was
why
just
I
like-
did it.
Like my brother is a music teacher, and for a while I was like, that seems like something I want to do. It seems like a good outlet
Yeah.
musically, and then I was like, oh, I hate children.
Yeah, I'm terrified of
Oh
kids.
man.
Terrified.
Like, so yeah, that was a realization I had over Christmas break.
Yeah.
So
Mine was a little more in spring because I was supposed to. I'm sure you probably observed over winter break.
yeah, man. Yeah.
I was supposed to, but I ended up having to do. Something came up and I had to do all of my observations, like my spring break of our I guess
Oh, okay.
Potsdam spring break.
Yeah.
And I came home and I was like, I'm changing my major. But
Yeah.
so everyone gets it at a different time, but it's better sooner than later.
Better sooner than later, and I'm lucky. It could have been, I could
Yeah.
have been. Some people start student teaching and they're like, "This is
No
not for me."
thanks.
And that is unideal. That is
Yeah.
not ideal.
I
man.
am changing everything.
Yeah.
I know like a bunch of music ed majors who minor either they either get like a performance certificate or they minor in business, because just in case, like, you never know.
Yeah.
College is pain, and sometimes you do all
It
of this
is.
stuff, and you're like, wait, no, I don't. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. But it's like a 3-year long mistake. It's like when you stutter in a conversation, but you've been doing it for 3 years, and you're like,
It's like
ooh,
Oy.
oof.
it's
But
yeah, it's a weird combination of things that you did accidentally that you say on purpose,
Yeah.
that were on purpose, or things that you did on purpose that were accidents or something.
And then you're just like, I'm just in this
Here we are.
situation.
It's like
College.
Just wanted pasta for dinner, but here
what's
I am
that?
with
What's that John Lennon
linguine.
quote? It's like, this may as well happen at some point, or whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I wake up to every morning. Just that thought, like, this may as well
Yeah.
happen.
Like, you're gonna live, you're gonna die someday, so you may as well live like you don't know when you're gonna die, because you don't know when you're gonna die.
It's true.
You got no choice.
Your last thought is, I'm probably going to die right now. Like, you never get the. Here it
Oh,
is.
it's so sad. Oh, it's so
Jesus.
sad. They were like, okay, come back.
Whoa.
Like, your very last thought is, I'm probably going to, like, you never get closure,
Well,
man.
That's it.
I just want closure.
I
No
just
closure,
hope
man,
I
no
just
closure.
hope that before I meet the guy upstairs, I have Porky Pig introduce me. Did it. That's all, folks.
That would be. What's the other? So there's I'm so sorry.
No problem, dude.
I forgot what I was saying. Something about. Okay, so there's Acme, and there's Warner Brothers.
I believe Acme is a what's the word I'm looking for?
Isn't Acme
It's a product of Warner Brothers. It's like
Okay.
it's like a brand that Warner Brothers has created, I guess,
Okay.
in a sense. If
Okay, gotcha.
because like, I'm trying to think of a
Is
good
it like
example.
a Disney Pixar thing?
maybe.
Yeah, yes and no, because
Okay.
Acme I don't believe is actually like real. I think it's more of a
Oh.
fictional thing, if I'm not mistaken.
Is that true? Is it like a fictional
Well, how do you
proprietorship?
How do
Acme,
you spell it?
ACME. Because
Oh, because I'm getting like
because
fast
you
food.
usually the Acme anvils and the Acme
It's
it was all.
fake.
I'm pretty sure it was fiction.
I'm getting like markets here. Let me
I'm
see.
so blown away that literally my
I
life
could
is a
be
lie right now.
completely wrong because I normally am. But
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's a fictional corporation. That
Aha.
features prominently. Oh, but it's in like. Oh wait, no, those are like outlandish products that like
yeah, because
assaults.
they were part of
the road
the
for the
Looney
Coyote.
Tunes.
That's so wild.
Acme. What does Acme stand for?
Are you thinking of
That's a
like
good
ASCAP or
question.
something?
Is it an
it's like-
acronym, or is Acme an acronym for acronym?
Acme means pinnacle.
The acronym
For Acme.
I mean, that's how the word acronym ends and starts.
Acme.
So it could be like a weird pseudo acronym of Acme.
Acme for like
And
the
they say
markets, I think
aliens
it's
aren't
just
among us.
Acme.
And they say that they're really out here saying
Those
aliens aren't among
liars.
us.
Yeah,
People
it just
really
means
have
like prime peak, which is
Oh,
kind of dope.
like
Interesting, but
like a pinnacle or something.
I am at my
Yeah.
Acme.
I'm at my Acme sounds like a drug that you'll see on like a commercial. Like
Yeah.
ask your doctor about my Acme.
Cooper, would you say you're at the Acme of your career?
My attorney doesn't want me to answer that question right now.
That is a good answer. That is a good answer.
I'm like afraid to ever be at my peak because the thing is that I'm never, you know what I mean? That I'm gonna just get lower from there and stuff.
I mean, plateauing isn't necessarily bad, as long as you're here.
You have to get there eventually
Yeah.
and then it's kind of like a self-actualization.
You're gonna get
Yeah.
there sooner or later. You're gonna get there
You
sooner
have-
or later.
True.
Right.
That's true.
And once you
Yeah.
reach that point, at least you know that that's the point. That it can't get any
Here we
better.
are. Yeah,
So that's at least you've experienced the best.
yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Look at it that way.
There's a lot of weight there.
And you won't. I mean, hey, there's no real way of knowing that that's the peak, though.
Yeah, it's true.
That's also very true.
Yeah, man.
That is
So-
also
That's
very
struggle.
true.
I've
That's
had
like that's the
Isn't life mysterious?
I've had many
Yeah.
times where I'm like, this is probably the best it's going to get, and then it gets better. And I have
Oh.
times where I was like, this is probably the worst it's going to get, and it
And
got
gets
worse. So
Yeah.
here we are.
it's a double-edged sword.
And the other
Life
way
is
for both
double-edged.
ways.
Yeah.
It's pretty boilerplate thing, but
Yeah.
par for the course.
The biggest lesson we learned
Yay,
is that
life.
happens. Unfortunately.
Evidently,
There you go.
life does happen.
Speaking of life happening, here's a life happening to all of you listeners. You're listening to 90.3 FM WAIH,
segue.
the way at SUNY Potsdam. You can reach us at our request line 315-267-2511. Our Facebook is facebook.com/90.3 WAIH. And our Instagram and Twitter handles are 90POINT3 WAIH. Just a friendly reminder. We are doing an interview, so anything we say is not reflective of the way or SUNY Potsdam as a whole. You're listening to Walking and Talking with our. Well, we're not walking, but we're talking with our dear friend Cooper Francis.
Have I said anything that you wouldn't want reflected in the way yet? Have you have I
No.
crossed that threshold?
No,
yet?
you have
Okay.
not.
Now you
Okay.
you don't like a pretty.
You're good.
Pretty much what
dude.
we're doing.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Okay, that's good to hear. I'm wondering, did you guys have a field day when the whole like Ugandan Knuckles thing was a meme? Like, I feel like
It
You
was
would've had a field day
Yeah,
with that.
actually,
it
people
was
make
an
those jokes a
interesting
lot.
it was an interesting topic in our forum
yeah,
at our meetings.
It surely was.
So half of us were very, very annoyed, and half of us were very, very willing to participate. And so there was a big divide. Oh my God, it's
Seems
Marissa.
that we
Speaking
have a
of
special
willing to
guest.
participate,
There you
we
go.
have a new person who's
That's
willing to
another
participate.
DJ.
Marissa
Dope,
was actually
man.
supposed to co-host, but she was a little sicky, so she came in a
Wah.
little late.
Wah.
Greetings.
While we segue into this, maybe, just a maybe, y'all. Maybe we could
Oh God.
get a little preview of a little Cooper Francis music. Maybe not. Maybe you guys ain't gonna see it today, unless
Maybe
we
not.
do it. This is a weird segue. I don't know. You want to do it?
Yeah, man, it's up. My way as well.
I'm away as well. Is there anything you want us to know about it before popping this bad boy?
Yeah, man. This is track I'm gonna release later this year. It's with my producer John Ryan Wake. It's kind of an 80s throwback thing, like my first single. A little bit more of like a synth pop thing going on. It's called "Boy Who Told You First."
Nice. Keep it locked for just a hot second.
Keep
y'all.
it.
Football player bodies with football player brains. Charge your one heart army, and so my soul abstains. Anyone with half a shot at anyone in this smoking room knows marching up to combat is marching to my doom. Everybody wants it, everybody wants the truth. Everybody's looking at you. Thinking too much leads to memories no one talks about. So light my fire and take me higher and never put it out. Sometimes to learn the words, you play the song back in reverse. I'll be gone, but don't forget the boy who told you first. Told you first. You have all the answers. So someone wants to know. I ask my only question. Say you gotta go. Anyone can play the hero, and somebody's chapter one. She took a shot at happiness. You got a warm gun. Everybody wants it. Everybody wants the truth. Everybody's looking. Everybody's looking at you. Thinking too much leads to memories no one talks about. So light my fire and take me higher and never put it out. Sometimes to learn the words, you play the song back in reverse. I'll be gone, but don't forget the boy who told you first. Told you first.
Welcome to our show. So how you feel? How you feeling about that?
I feel like a newborn ostrich who is just
A giant egg.
who has just been hatched and is
Well
he's
said.
in the giant
It is a therapy session.
yeah. So here we are. Yeah. So yeah,
I'm
that's the
Dr.
track.
Station.
That's the track.
What kind of out of
Way
curiosity-
exclusive,
that was
guys.
nice.
Oh, thank
That was
you,
kinda
thank you.
cute.
That was a way exclusive. That was awesome.
Oh
What
yeah,
kind
it
of,
was. Yeah, it was, man.
What kind of program did you use for that like, instrumentation?
I use Logic. My producer uses Logic. I actually just use GarageBand.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was kind of surprised at how powerful, if you have like a good interface and like a good MIDI controller, how much you can
Yeah.
get out of
Oh yeah.
this GarageBand. So yeah, like the main pad sound was just like a stock GarageBand thing. A lot of the drums were just stock stuff. I used some external like VSTs and stuff, but a lot of that was just straight up Logic and GarageBand,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I've come to like really enjoy it. More so Logic because my computer is tiny, and it won't download some of the GarageBand things. But GarageBand has really significantly upgraded these past few
Yeah,
years. So it's like a special. I think it's like super easy to get in there and just start experiment. If you know what you want to do, start experimenting.
Yeah, and like if I was like a metal guitarist or something, and like that probably wouldn't be as
Yeah.
conducive, like because it's so. But like with like the synth pop stuff,
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that's so up the alley of like what they just have in their catalog. And I'm lucky. Like there happens to be the overlap there. But yeah, if I was like a bluegrass musician or something, like I wouldn't be as lucky. It's just just a little happy accident that I have those resources.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little segue. It's looking like we have someone wanting us to do rock, paper, scissors. And she says, first us two, then you two.
And then championship round.
I guess so.
Okay. All right.
You want to do one or best 2 out of 3?
Is this actually a thing?
Let's do best 2 out of 3. But just so you know, I always pick rock.
See, here's the thing is, you could be telling the truth, and I'll think.
Don't tell Maria stuff like that. She'll fall for it.
I know I'm
She-
gonna
she
think too
will.
much. I'm thinking too much
Now
now.
you're thinking about it.
Because
It's
now
an
I'm like, well,
instinct.
maybe he's gonna do it now. But then I'm like, maybe he's just messing.
All right,
Okay.
Maria, best 2
All right.
out of 3.
All right, best 2.
All right.
Let's see.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Crap. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
That's one.
Oh.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Okay. So that was
That's
we
one
each
for
got
one.
one.
All right.
It's the last round.
All right.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, I thought you were gonna switch like
No,
last minute.
I'm a man of my word.
There
Okay.
you go.
So now you guys gotta go.
Okay, this is a
Gotta
big
get it on camera.
big thing. I need to bring it up. Do you do says shoot or do you just shoot?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Because like there's rock paper scissors says shoot, and then there's rock paper scissors shoot.
I've learned. I think that's an island thing. I think it's a Long Island thing, and like a city thing. Because they say, "Oh, rock paper says shoot," and I'm like, no, it's just rock paper
It's a
scissors
thing.
Is that-
shoot.
I have
It's
never
a
heard
thing.
that.
It's
That's
not
wild.
not a thing.
Is it rock, paper, sizz, shoot?
No, rock paper scissors, and then you says shoot. You're
Well,
like you're exclaiming that you're gonna say shoot. Yeah, because
Could you demonstrate?
It's like so rock paper scissors says shoot. It's one
Oh, get
more.
that away
It's
from
one,
me.
It's
two,
Get that
one
out of here.
more,
That's
so you
wrong.
can. All right, fine. So
No.
we won't say shoot.
No,
God.
you just go rock,
All
paper,
right,
scissors, shoot.
rolling
Not
this
says
thing.
shoot.
So it's best 2 out of 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Rock paper scissors shoot. Well, that was easy. Rock paper scissors shoot. There's one.
Ooh.
Oh, rock paper scissors shoot.
Ooh.
Rock paper scissors shoot. There's one.
This one each.
Rock paper scissors shoot. Ah.
Ooh.
All right,
What's-
so now
what's
Bryson, I gotta
this?
go.
Ooh.
Get on
What's
camera.
this?
Scissors.
What's this?
That's
That's not a
scissors.
scissor.
Scissors.
That's like a scissor with an extension.
Yeah.
Scissors.
Piece.
That's
When
a
is-
handy. That's a handy pair of scissors.
Yeah.
Scissors have
It's like an
extensions.
extension.
Get that at
of your
Home
body.
Depot for $17.99,
Oh,
man.
wow.
All right. You what? You want Maria?
I feel cheated.
Okay. Do you
Rock-
always pick rock?
No, I don't. No.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, you did.
There's
You
one.
little nerd. You little
All
nerd.
right. I don't feel good anywhere. I won.
Okay, she won.
Well, that was
Um,
easy.
Where's the
But on
fan?
that-
Thanks,
So-
listener.
This actually brings me into another interesting segue. It's not interesting, but I'm just going to talk about it. So, like I said, I think it's mainly my city friends and Long Island friends here who are like says. But earlier you mentioned that you are from the Cuse.
I am from the Cuse.
Oh,
Fun
Cuse.
fact: I too am from the Cuse.
Ooh.
I have read
Cuse brethren.
Years.
Yeah.
Here we are, Cuse gang.
Out of curiosity, what high school did you go
I
to?
went to East Syracuse, Manoa.
Wait. So where are you? Where exactly in Syracuse? Are you
East
from?
Syracuse.
I used to live in Lincoln. Did you grow up there? I grew up in Linkport.
Really?
And
Okay.
now I'm in Camillus, but I
Dang,
moved there
okay.
like 2 years ago.
Dope,
That's
man.
wild.
Yeah, that's wild.
Like Sarah Berger too is from Mad Stop is from I think like Solve. And
Oh,
then
okay.
there's someone there's a lot of Syracuseans. Oh,
Then
Ned.
there's me.
Oh,
is
is Ned
from-
really a Syracusean too?
He's from
Queens.
Phoenix, I think.
Okay.
So it's like
okay,
cool.
okay.
Like one day we just all found out, oh, we're all from Syracuse. We should have like
Anybody else
My-
from New York City? I'm with
I had
you.
a friend in high school whose
I'm
mom
with you
was a
guys.
music
I'm
teacher.
with you guys.
So I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
do you know Ned? And she's gonna be like, yeah, or no.
The babes. You know, I wish I could live in this. I think it's kind
It's
of
actually a
you
lot
know-
worse than you might think it is.
Yeah, but it's just so different of an atmosphere that I've been used to my whole life.
That's why I moved. That's why I came
Yeah.
here for school.
Yeah, because this place is like
This
It's
place
like a
is bigger
safer
than my
Syracuse.
hometown.
It's like a
Oh
safe.
my!
It's like gluten-free Syracuse.
yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Syracuse.
It's wild, but plus the music. I think the music's decent in Syracuse. but it's definitely better.
The music
here.
is decent in Syracuse. It's kind of a weird animal, but I don't dislike the scene there by any chance. Ooh, PG dialogue. Here we go. I really like Funk and Waffles. I think that's a super cool venue. I played at both of them. Well, actually, 2 of the 3, but technically 2 of the 2, but not because one of them doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And I played at that one, and I played at one of them that also still exists. But there's also one that still exists that I have not played at. I have not played at the Rochester one, but I played at the Marshall Street one, downtown Syracuse, that is no longer. Rest in peace. That was a dope venue. Ooh, I haven't thought about that venue in 3 years.
So
and
sad.
The downtown Syracuse one.
Yeah, that one's fun.
Yeah, which is a dope one. I opened up for my friend Cole Jarvis
Nice.
this past summer. That was a dope show.
Yeah, I went there for my 21st birthday, and there was like a bunch of
Ooh.
punk guys with like Ramones shirts, and I was like looking at their pedals. I was like, wow.
Sounds like my
They
kind
were
of
like, who are
guys.
you? Yeah,
That's actually the only reason I go to punk shows, so I can look at their boards.
yeah.
You know
I
what's
was
the
like, yeah,
best
'cause
part
I'm
about
curious.
Syracuse is?
Nothing.
Wegmans.
Oh, I love.
All right, here we go.
Wegmans.
I was like, when is
Oh,
it
yeah.
gonna come? When is it gonna come to this?
So
I
this is the
can't
part where I
wait to
leave
go
because I have
home.
nothing to say about this.
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah.
So great,
City
though.
folk.
We don't take Cali. You tap around here.
I
They're,
think Wegmans. There has only been one Wegmans product I was not 100% satisfied with, and that's because I was only like 70% satisfied with it.
What
Which,
is
to
it?
be honest, was a little like it's a decent
Only
batting
70.
average. But like their Thai peanut sauce. I think
Oh.
I'm not gonna Wegmans. I love you with all my heart, but I thought the Thai peanut sauce was a little lame.
a little weak.
A little weak because, dude, I have this Thai place really close to where I live. It's called oh my
Oh
God, what is
well,
it called?
because you have the real thing.
I got this legit, and
The
their
OG.
peanut sauce there is like insane, man.
Yeah,
I think it's a textural thing as much as it is a flavor.
absolutely.
thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Because like the peanut sauce, like in the jar of Wegmans, right? Let's talk about it. Let's talk
Let's
about
have
it.
a
It's like a
conversation.
thin. It's like a thin, like
Humongous.
almost watery type of thing. It's like a
God
salad
size.
dressing or something. And I can't get behind that because I grew up on this, like it's almost the same like consistency as peanut butter, but it's got like spices and like
yeah,
umptuous, like it's so good. It's like smoky. It's so fantastic. So I've just had like if I had to pick one condiment that was just honestly my favorite, I would pick Thai peanut sauce from
Yeah.
from Arrow on Erie Boulevard in East Syracuse.
I'll have to check that because I've
Yeah,
been
man.
on Erie Boulevard. That's not new, is it?
It's
I think
been
I've-
here for a while. I
think
remember
my
like
brother
going
and
there
I
as a
have-
little kid.
because they just opened like a ramen place there, I think,
Oh,
recently, and
really?
that's
Oh, I
my
want
brother and
ramen.
I. Yeah, we went
Don't
there.
mention ramen. I really want ramen.
But like, I mean, I
Right.
love like foreign
And
food.
now I'm
It's
hungry.
so good, and like I would love to go. I mean, I'm sure it's
Thanks, guys.
Americanized, but
I've never
Like-
actually been to a ramen restaurant.
Oh,
I've
missing
never
out.
been. I've never
Oh,
been
you're
there, man.
missing out
You're
so
missing
much.
out.
Oh,
have you
my.
been to Kojo? I think it's
You
Kodo.
You don't have any
Sounds
allergies,
familiar.
do you? Right?
No. I
Oh, you
don't.
have to.
I
No, because
don't.
like some people are allergic to soy, some people are allergic to
Okay.
sesame. You
Yeah.
have to find
Right.
a ramen spot. I don't know where, I don't know how, but just find one.
Kodo has
Bad.
pretty. It's not the
Bad,
best
man.
for sure, like because they're really a steakhouse, but their ramen's pretty decent.
Wait, where?
Kodo. I think they're still
okay.
in the mall in Destiny.
And no, Lee's
Okay.
Hawaiian does not count.
Oh, Lee's Hawaiian is so good.
Although the Simon is really, really good, it does not count.
I want to go to Destiny. I haven't been to Destiny in forever.
Yeah.
I live 10 minutes away from Destiny, USA.
Oh,
That's what I live.
So-
I think I live like 15, 20 now.
Yeah.
I live
Such
an
a
hour
nice,
and a
such
half.
a great area. I mean, it's not the best area, but it's still.
I live
cool,
about
you know?
6 hours.
I have a friend back home, and I'm like literally every weekend I'd call, especially in high school when we were in high school together. I'd be like, "Do you want to go to the mall?" And he hated Destiny because he worked at the theater like forever, and I was
Yeah.
like, I was so
Yeah.
about it. Like it's
That
such a dope
sucks.
place, especially the
It
new
is,
parts.
yeah.
It's got some dope stuff.
I
What's
love the
one
new.
place called? It's like Wonderworks or something.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Wonderworks.
Wonderworks is great.
Yeah.
Fun fact: I went there during gym class my senior year.
Really?
Yeah, like the ropes course and stuff. We like paid $3 like every day for like a 2 weeks or something, and we had like literally like a Wonderworks unit.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was dope, man. It was super dope. I almost got a job there actually.
That'd be so cool.
That would have been sick. That would have been really awesome, man.
Yeah, the bigger version of Wonderworks is even more dope. And I don't know if they're like, nationwide or whatever, but I went to the one in Tennessee
Are
when
they
I was
on
a
your side?
kid.
Okay.
The whole building is like a fake upside down building, and it moves.
whole
And I'm like,
building.
how do you do that? Double jointed thumb. Who are you?
Do I have a double jointed thumb?
I do. I don't know who you are though.
What,
SSL
what's the
1900.
Well, so like that's a normal thumb.
Samuel
Like,
Sebring 1900.
How do you know if your thumb is double jointed?
'Cause
I can do that.
I can like see. I can't bend this one backwards, but this one I can bend backwards.
I can do this. I can do this.
Oh yeah, it's like hitchhiker's thumb. I think I kind of have that, but not really.
I have this. I've been told this is weird. I've been told like,
I can do this.
is this a thing people can do?
I used to be able to.
Like,
when
I'm
I
not
was a
even trying to be
kid.
edgy. Like, I'm genuinely asking.
Wait, like that?
Yeah, your tip thumb back push. Yeah,
I don't know if
exactly.
that's proper grammar, but I
Hey.
appreciate the sentiment.
I've been there, man. I've been there where grammar is secondary.
Yeah, he's got to say words, and then if they make sense, they do.
Yeah,
If they don't, hey,
yeah, man.
hey, man.
That's a lesson I-
I don't make the rules.
Any of this.
Sometimes it's not, because sometimes when you're doing something and someone's listening to you, you're saying it and you already know what you're gonna say. You're just like, oh, this is just this. But like that to you, for someone else is like, oh, not only is this, but it's also someone saying this to me.
Yeah.
But you don't have that. There's one extra level, man, that isn't present otherwise, because like you're only seeing it objectively as the thing itself.
Yeah,
But for them, it's, oh, this person came up to me and said this to me. So it's like I mean, same way, like if you were like to play the drums or something and you're like on stage and like, it doesn't need to be that robust. Like you could just go and you're just like, oh, this is just like a snare, like rim shot thing, like whatever, man. But like when the people in the audience are like, this is groovy, this is that, but you're just like, oh, this is just this. It's never just this. It's never just this, man.
yeah.
What was the question?
I'm so
I don't even.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't even remember. But that one.
It's all these people.
You just went off in a tangent. Like I don't even know what you're talking about anymore.
Hey man, I'll be real with you. I was following, and then I fell off, and then I started following again. Like after, it's because I'm half asleep. That's my problem. But I enjoy the passion, though. That's the thing. It's like some people will be like, "Oh, not really answer your question," but some people will give you new insights on.
I don't even know
Something.
what I learned. but I learned
Insights is
something.
There you go.
generous, but I appreciate the compliment.
True.
Yeah, but it's like it's never just this. It's never just a thing.
So it's more than just the thing.
Yeah.
And on that note, it's looking like we're gonna have to close up shop. Are there any last parting words you'd like to share with the audience?
Sure, man. My name is Cooper Francis. I'm a singer-songwriter from Syracuse that's kicking it in Potsdam, New York right now. I got music on Spotify and iTunes. I got a song called Out of Line, and I got a song called Aloysius. That's Aloysius. Yes, I can spell the names of my own songs. Gucci Gang. They're both on iTunes, Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Pandora, wherever you listen to music. You can check it out there. I would definitely appreciate it. For those of you who are tuning in, thanks for listening, man.
Heck yeah.
Or
Thank you,
whomever
Cooper, for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you, Koopy
Yeah,
boy.
pleasure, man.
Coop and Scoop. That was probably not the best. That was. I'm
Scoopity
never gonna
whoop?
say that again.
Whoopity
So yeah.
swoop.
Peace out, everybody.
Thanks, prize a lot.
Remember to keep it locked on the way.